Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Ali. This is Daily E-commerce. Today I want to hit on a little bit more of a personal sort of topic about dropshipping. Now, I've been in dropshipping for over a decade. I've been able to achieve a lot in this field, which includes doing over 7 figures in dropshipping, getting one of my previous companies into the Inc. 5000, joining Russell Brunson's 2 Comma Club, traveling the world because of e-commerce and what it's been able to do to completely change my life, and the fact that my entire life is powered by e-commerce. And today I want to talk about. And I've been around this for a really, really long time. And when you're around this for a really, really long time, what happens is that your friends and your family members and everybody around you understands this is what you do. And then they come up to you with this, like, hey, dude, I have an idea for a business that I want to start. And when I get that, like, oh, dude, I have this amazing idea and I really want to do it. I'm really passionate about it. At the back of my head, because I've worked with over like 2,000 people and have helped them launch their store, I'm automatically like 99%, you're not going to do it, dude. 99%, you're not going to do it. Okay. And these are the reasons why most dropshippers will quit after just 3 months, and how, if you're someone who's serious about dropshipping, this is the stuff that you have to avoid. This is the mentality you need to change. Okay. Now, the first thing that I want to get into is some of the stuff that's been sort of sold on dropshipping YouTube that just simply isn't true. Okay. If somebody's telling you that there's a product out there that you can just sell, that you're going to make 10K instantly without really trying that hard, if there's someone telling you that there's a one-click AI store builder that will build a winning product store for you with you having to do nothing and then watching the money roll in, if there's an Instagram page that you've seen that is perpetrating that this is a product that's selling itself, where if there's anything out there that you have seen that says this works without you working it, it's a lie. There is nothing like that. There is nothing like that that works without you working it, besides like I don't know, like basic human needs, like real estate or something that basically sells itself. Like, the only thing that comes to mind for me is like really harmful substances, right? Those things sort of sell itself without actually you selling it, because there's just insane demand for those things. But if you're getting into e-commerce and dropshipping, there is a you component that is in there that is as important as the external factors of success. So what are some external factors of success? Which is the winning product that you find, the store that you build, the ads that you run, and the conversions that take place as a result. And then the back end, the upsells, email marketing, the automations, XYZ. Those are all external. But then there's our internal factors that people don't take into account. For example, how much do you know about the niche that you're entering? How much do you know about the problem you're solving with the product that you have selected? How good is your ability to entice in someone a want to purchase the product that you're selling? And how effective are you at compelling somebody to make a decision to purchase now versus them putting that off and doing it at a future date? A lot of people never spend the time to develop these skills in them. If you took the time to develop these skills, it doesn't matter what business you get into. It doesn't matter what client you have. It truly doesn't matter what you do in your life. But if these are some skills that you develop, you will automatically become a money magnet. You will solve problems for people and you will get paid a ton of money for it, and people will be happy to pay you tons and tons of money for doing that, because you were able to tell them about a problem that they may have known or did not know about. You were able to then effectively, through the use of the skills that you had, agitate that problem so that they felt like they needed to do something about it now. Then you were able to introduce a solution to that problem you just agitated and aggravated, giving them that sense of relief. Then you painted a picture in their mind about what would happen if this solution came and what their life would look like. And you didn't just talk about it on a surface level. You went deeper. You went ahead and showed them all of the hidden benefits that would unlock as a result of this thing now appearing in their life. Then you gave them an opportunity to purchase said solution, and you told them that they're getting a massive deal on it. The value of the money that they're parting is not comparable to what they're getting. So in their mind, that is an amazing deal. And then you made a good rational argument as to why you cannot delay this purchase, why it needs to happen now. Otherwise, there's a good chance that this solution will never probably come into their life again. And then once they actually do that transaction with you, you didn't stop selling to them, because you understand that once you solve one problem for someone, a whole slew of other problems are still left to be solved. So then you sell them more things. You sell them more products to solve more problems. And you deliver products in a timely manner. And then you keep that customer happy for the rest of their life. And they're only thinking positive things about you. This is the customer life cycle. And this is every single point that I spoke about has a unique skill attached to it. And nobody in dropshipping pays attention to those skills, developing them and cultivating them. So hopefully in this video, I can shine light on that a little bit. So what people don't understand about e-commerce. People think e-commerce is setting up a Shopify store, uploading some products and images, and then driving traffic to that store. And then either seeing some sales or not seeing some sales. That's what people think e-commerce is. And that's what the general YouTube set of gurus, people that are talking about it, have led people to believe that that's what e-commerce is. In a sense, they're not wrong, but in a sense, they're completely wrong. Because all e-commerce is a way to solve a problem for someone without actually being in their face. Okay, what e-commerce was before the internet ever existed was people would write letters to each other saying, hey man, I have this cool thing that I think you would need. Before that, it was actually like markets. Like you would go into a market and you would have to basically find that there's a problem, and then you would have to go out there looking for the solution, or you would be out in a market in a mood to spend, and then you would find someone interrupted your day and showed you something that you didn't know you needed, but now you do. Okay. So what is e-commerce actually? E-commerce is nothing but solving problems for people at a distance, making it convenient to solve problems. And so a lot of people don't look at e-commerce as that. A lot of people just look at e-commerce as I'm selling some products to people. I think this product is cool. It does something. It does solve a problem. Like I know a lot of people come to me with, hey, I want a problem solving product, or hey, I want a unique product, or hey, I want like a health product because I think health is doing really well. But people don't look at the three things that if you actually just change your fundamental viewpoint on what this is, you would just instantly make a lot more money. And this is, again, I'm going to get into my story a little bit later in this video as well. But when I flipped that script, and some of my early mentors really helped me understand this, is when you don't look at it as products, but when you start looking at e-commerce as people, everything changes. So don't go into e-commerce anymore thinking this is the product I'm going to sell. Go into e-commerce thinking this is the problem I'm going to solve. So I've sold hundreds of products, or at least tried to sell hundreds of products. And every time I sold something that I didn't give a shit about, I lost money. And every time I sold something that I actually kind of cared about, I made money. And that's actually that simple. Every time I work with someone or take a client on, they're always surprised by the questions that I ask them. And I feel like nobody's maybe asked them that question before, is who do you want to work for, right? Like, I've built a business in the past that I built to $10,000 a month. I built it in the jewelry space, and I hated every single day of it. A lot of us start a dropshipping store or an e-commerce business to get away from our 9 to 5. But all I want you to think about is that thing that you're creating, it may even be worse than your 9 to 5. If you build something that you don't really care about and you go into it with the wrong intention. If you go into something thinking that I'm going to build this business to make money selling shit I don't care about, selling shit that sells, that's all I care about, is selling shit that sells, you're going to build something that's worse from a 9 to 5, because at least in a 9 to 5, you can quit your job on days that are hard and then find something better where you're a little bit more interested. You can't just quit a business. Like, you can't just, like, you built this business for a few years and it's finally doing well, and then you actually don't even like your customers. Like, for me, when I woke up one day on this business that's done $10,000 a month, we are doing 1K days, everything's doing well. It's a one-man show. It's pretty much just me and a few VAs fulfilling the order. I'm keeping most of the money. I already have a really good job, so I'm like swimming in it at this point, money-wise. And I hated it. And thank God I still had a job back then, because I could just shut it off. But what if I didn't? What if this is everything that I did and I woke up hating my business, right? If you're going to put some time into it, if you're going to put hours into researching products and hours into building a store and hours into making ads, why don't you just do it for something that you actually care about? Why don't you select a target market that's related to a hobby that you have? Imagine you're someone who maybe always went fishing with their dad, right? Or somebody who likes solving puzzles with their mom, or someone that likes gardening, or someone that likes basketball, or someone that likes maybe filmmaking or something. I don't know, whatever your hobby is. Why don't you just solve problems for those people? Because imagine you like fishing and all your customers are fishermen, and you can just sit and talk about something that you like every single day. Like, do you think that will be a good way to spend your time, right? And when I and my team get people to understand that, connect with that, and then solve problems for those types of people, their whole outlook on business changes, because they actually start giving a crap about the people that they're serving. So that's, I feel like, a really misunderstood thing about e-commerce. Now let's talk about my early years and why I made it past the 3-month mark. Okay, so when I started dropshipping, I saw some OG videos about Shopify. Shopify had just blown up, and I actually was doing research on how to build a website, because I was interning for this company, and they said, hey, we're going to spend like $3,000 building a website. And I was like, $3,000 building a website? That's crazy money. I was like, you know what? Let's look at what this whole website building thing is. I typed into YouTube like 10 years ago now, how do you build a website? And then some guy named Dan De Silva came up and said, this is how you build a Shopify store. And my life changed forever, because I was like, what? You can build a store? Like, you can build a website that's this easy, and you can just sell stuff to people? And then he showed me what AliExpress, and I was like, wait, you don't even have to own it? So I can sell like thousands of things and I don't actually have to buy them? And my dad has had a business for his whole life, and he actually does it the traditional way, where he buys all his stuff, keeps it in warehouses, owns inventory, and then sells them, right? So I was like, wait, that's a really scary way to do business. You need a lot of money. This is just crazy. You could just do this shit. Like, this is just something that you could do. And my life changed forever, because I was just attracted to the concept of being able to sell without actually going in front of someone's face. Because I was I know that I have a ton of content on YouTube, but typically I am more introverted. So I was like, I don't want to really go and talk to people, right? So that's how I started. And then, I failed a lot, right? My first bat at Shopify, I built this like 100 product store, I would say, with every single piece of jewelry known to man upload it because there's a way that you could just zap all these products. And then I had my store looking beautiful. Then I showed my what now wife, then girlfriend, my store, and she was like, "Oh, this is so cool. Can I buy it from you?" And I was like, "Yeah, you can, but then it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take 40 days, and don't do it. This is not for you. Like, this is for other people." And I was kind of embarrassed to show this to my girlfriend, and she wanted to show it to her family. Like, look, like the guy that I'm with, he's crazy smart. He can build websites. I was like, no, don't show this to anybody. And I was kind of like worried about actually showing my stuff to someone. It's not like that now. I'm really proud of the businesses that I've built, and I talk about them all the time with my friends and family. So that being said, I essentially just moved from product to product, building crappy looking pages that were super scammy because that's what somebody told me would sell. And I just did that for the longest time. And I would get some sales and I would get really, really excited. And then some shit just didn't work. And then I did that for a really, really long time. Now, the reason that I made it past the 3-month mark and why I would consider myself an outlier is because I fell in love with the concept of e-commerce versus falling in love with the concept of making money. That's a really, really important distinction. If you've come into this with a love for money, there's, I think, faster ways to do that. Like, you could do like crazy stuff in crypto. You can do crazy investment shit. You can do VC shit. Like, there's so much stuff that you can do to make fast money, right? If your goal is like, do I want to make fast money? Like, you could sell a course about something, like some AI automation stuff. You just learn it, make a course, start talking about it. Like, there's faster ways to make money. So that's why I felt like I broke that 3-month mark. So that's number one for you, is what are you actually in love with, right? If you're someone like me where you think this concept is pretty cool, and I've met some people. I'm going to give a shout out to Cade, who's someone who I've been working with for a really long time now. And I've featured him on the channel before. He was a complete beginner in e-commerce and is now someone who I consider to be doing some pretty cool stuff. Like, some of his stuff that I see now is just absolutely crazy. But he is someone that I feel like he likes e-commerce for what it is. Selling stuff to people online that you've never met before gives you a crazy kind of like dopamine that you will never get anywhere else. Like, till date, when I launch a new store and I get sales for the first time, selling stuff to absolute strangers I've never met online, you don't like, that is a high that I don't know if I'll ever get that anywhere else. So people that love doing that will outlast people who are just doing it for money, because you'll very quickly understand that you don't make money fast if your only objective is to make money. Another thing that will set you apart from others and give you that longevity in this game is you are interested in solving a problem for people. Like, you want to build a business that you actually find cool. The biggest litmus test for that is build a business where if I told you you're going to have to order 100 units of this product and keep them at your house and be okay even if you didn't sell one. Like, what is that one product you can order 100 of, keep it at your house, try to sell them, and even if you didn't sell them, you could use up all of that product yourself or just give it out as gifts to friends and family because it's so freaking cool. Is there something like that you've seen on AliExpress, you've seen on Amazon, you've seen somewhere that gets that light in you? Because if there is, dude, screw anything anybody says about winning products or this or that. Just sell that. Just sell that. It could be a chess set. It could be like some technology. Like, one of the first big money that I made was selling like a USB dongle that goes into an iPad and connects it to your TV. That to me back then was the coolest thing that you could do. I'm like, the 3 niches that I like are tech, fashion, and fitness, and I've made money in all. That tech gadget that you can connect into an iPad and then it just connects it to like your speaker, your TV, this. I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever come across. Like I love that. If I had that, I could store a lot of it at my house. And even if I didn't sell it, I could just give it to friends, family, anybody who comes to my house who has an app. Oh, you have an iPad? Here, take this. This will fucking change your life, right? Like that's what you need to view e-commerce as. Okay. So, I finally escaped shiny object syndrome when I met this guy online who taught me a lot about e-commerce, like really like changed my perspective into stopping thinking about the product you're selling and start thinking about the problem you're solving. And when I did that, my whole life flipped. Okay. I built really, really big businesses. I helped take already big businesses to the stratosphere. I started becoming like this, like marketing to me forever changed. And it was just such a simple flip that you have to make. And sometimes just talking to the right people will give you this. Let me take a sip of water before we continue. Okay, so what is the real key to success? If you are someone who looks at a YouTube video and sees someone make a ton of money and it looks easy, and you think that when you do it, it's going to be that easy, and that's what you've been like when you watch all of these dropshipping videos. Because now that I'm publishing on this channel, there's a video every single day, pretty much. I get a lot of these guys that are video junkies. They enter my mentorship. They talk to me in the comments. They say, dude, I watch this all day. And when they come to me, the first thing I do is I tell them to stop watching stuff, even if it's mine. Like a little bit, you need to start doing a video detox. Because when all you're looking at is how I made 50K a day, how I made 20K a day, how I made this much money a day, how much I made that much money a day, it sets up a very unrealistic experience that you're about to go through. Because only maybe 0.0001% of people that launch stores actually do stuff like that. Because there's a lot of stuff that you have to get right to hit that mark. Now, what for me are the 4 pillars of e-commerce? It's niche, offer, ad, funnel. Okay. Who are you serving? What are you serving them? How are you communicating it? And how are you selling it? These are the 4 pillars. To get all 4 right in your first round is as unrealistic as like you having never fired a bow and arrow before and then hitting a bullseye. Like if you like, I tried that, by the way. I went to archery one time, me and my wife. We were at this resort. They were having like archery shit. We're like, yeah, we're going to do it. I can't tell you how much I suck at throwing a bow and hitting our target. And for why did I think I'd be good at it? Like what reasoning did I have to believe that, oh, if I just look at it, hold it a certain way, and then I just throw it, I'm going to hit it? Dude, my shit didn't even hit the board. It went somewhere else. Okay. And maybe there are guys that got just everything just lined up for them, and their first shot, they hit the bullseye. And I feel like there are some of those guys out there on YouTube. And then they go like, shit, man, I want to talk about it. And then talk about, more power to them. Like they got that success fast, and that's amazing. But that can't be everybody, right? And that wasn't me. So I'm here to tell you that there's a big chance, like a 99% chance that isn't you. So the first thing that you want to do is, instead of relying on like shortcuts like winning products or ad formats or page designs, focus on building real skills. Okay. Focus on not looking at products, but looking at markets, like understanding like a hobby and going into a market to solve a problem. Okay. Then creating an offer. You need to make something so compelling. You need to offer something so valuable that somebody looks at their, like, this is something I got from Russell Brunson, who got from someone else. Like, your marketing needs to be so powerful that drive in the rain, like there's a blizzard with a power outage, and they ram it because they have to get to a certain place to buy your product. There's some analogy like that, but you need to move them to get their credit card, put it in, or just, they don't hesitate on the Apple Pay. They just do it then and there. Okay, so what's that offer, right? What are you building that's so valuable that somebody would part with their with their money, right? How they would part with their money to get that. Then you need to create a compelling ad. Like most people's advertising is so basic. Here's the problem. Here's the solution. Buy it now. You need to create ads that move people to action. You need to create ads that when somebody clicks, like they can't help but click. They save the link, they send it to people. They go like, okay, I don't have the time now, but I need to get back to this, right? That's the type of advertising you need to create. And you need to create landing pages that convince somebody that this is something that they've been waiting for. They can't pass up on this, and they go ahead and buy now. So the real keys to success, I feel, is to build your skill set versus relying on like shortcuts or hacks. A good shortcut and a good hack in the hands of someone who has a skill set is dangerous, but a shortcut or a hack in the hands of a person who has nothing, who has no base, who has no understanding of fundamentals, is nothing, right? You're putting something on like quicksand, it'll sink. But if you construct on a solid foundation, it'll stand, right? So that's how you have to look at it. Okay, how long? It's been 27 minutes of me just going off, right? So I want to end on what it actually means to be successful in this business. If you've been able to figure out someone who you actually care about, selling something that you think really works, selling it in a meaningful way where you're able to talk about something so passionately that it moves you, and if it moves you, it will definitely move your ideal customer, and that they're purchasing and then they're talking about you to their friends and family. Like, guys, you won't believe what I found online. This is something that you need in your life. That to me, even if it's at a small scale, even if you're making a couple $100, that to me is a successful business, because that to me is something that you can scale and make into a really meaningful, big, successful business, right? That was my rant on this whole thing, why dropshippers quit after 3 months and how to avoid it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment down below any questions that you have about dropshipping, what you're stuck with, where your roadblocks are. I'll do my best to help you. Click that first link in the description if you want to talk to me a little bit more, right? I do have a little bit of a program. And if you're somebody who thinks you could benefit from talking to me a little bit more, click that first link down below. See how you can join. Watch some of the other stuff on the channel. All we do here every single day is talk about e-commerce and dropshipping, and just doing that on the daily. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Appreciate each and every one of you. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.